This is MIA 2K Podcast, and we are your ticket from Miami to Seoul. We are your pilots, Kathy and Laura, two fun-seeking girls with obsessive fandom tendencies, taking you on a ride through the Hallyu wave from our perspective as opinionated, grown Latina fans from Miami.
Before we close the cabin doors, make sure you're following us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And if you like to watch, our in-flight podcast video is available on YouTube and Spotify.
Once we reach our cruising altitude, we'll be serving one thing and one thing only, piping hot tea. We're ready to fly into today's topic with our hot and sunny takes.
So fasten your seatbelts, sit back, relax, and prepare for takeoff.
Hi guys! Before you listen to this episode, we wanted to let you know that the sound and video component are a little off and not what you're used to with our podcast. We tried a new platform in hopes of bringing you a better experience, but it actually worked in the complete opposite way. With that said, we still think the episode content was good and fun, and recording it again wouldn't have given us the organic laughs that we had here, so we hope you still listen and enjoy it. We'll be back with our good sound next week. Now, let's get into the episode.
Hi guys.
Hi everyone!
We are coming to you today with a light and airy episode. We tackled the biggest shit show of a company last week. SM, we're looking at you. And we needed this break to cleanse our souls, cleanse our minds. If you haven't given it a listen, please do check it out. It's a doozy.
Yes, it is. Today we're here because during season 1, we did a 2-parter episode that we called Because We're All About That Bias. And we talked about our biases in all of the groups that we loved at the time, which was February of 2022. So we thought it'd be fun to come back to you just a little over a year later and give you guys a little update on where we are right now.
The Kathy and Laura of today is very different from 2022 Kathy and Laura. You might say, but it's only been a year, guys. How can you be so different? Well, guess what? A baby goes from like sleeping and crying to walking, eating, and speaking within a year. So it's a big deal.
It is. So let's start and go really quickly with our main groups that we talked about during our last episode. That includes BTS, Stray Kids, Monsta X, Ateez, GOT7, and SHINee. So my status update with BTS, I'm still on my sugar bullshit even more than ever before. I spent a ridiculous amount of money on everything Augusty related. I bought 9 albums. Who am I? I did not think I was like going to be that person, but I became that person. I bought 2 different concert tickets because I was not able to go to the first one, and I was able to sell it for like half the price, but I still spent way more money on the concert ticket cumulatively than I expected, wanted to, or thought I would, but here I am. And also I bamboozled Laura into spending a lot more money than she thought she would on that. And then I ended up not going with her because I couldn't. So such is life. And yeah, I think that's the update. I'm whipped and I am a simp. And this man doesn't know I exist, but he is my comfort. So there's that. And also Jungkook is still number 2, but you know.
Who's counting?
Who's counting? Not me. Yeah.
I really haven't changed very much in general with all of these groups. It's still very, very steady, very the same. With BTS, it's still Jin. He's gone now in the military. So that kind of sucks. But honestly, being a multi-stan is great because it makes the pain a little less.
Yeah. Then for Stray Kids, which was at the time, I think, kind of our second group, things are pretty much the same. We got to see them this year. We saw them in March in Atlanta. It was an amazing concert. We had the best fucking time. So Changbin heard me screaming. I know he did. I was 100% grade A, completely unhinged, like ridiculously unhinged. And I lived my best absolute life at the concert. I literally I'm so in love with him. Like, it's ridiculous. I forget a lot of people exist when I think of So Changbin, and that's that on that.
I had a really great time. A lot of people noticed that I had a really great time. I'm like a different person during concerts. Well, no, I'm not a different person. I'm just another part of me. I'm showing a different side.
You show a different side of yourselves during concerts, yes.
And we had a really good setup, so I was just enjoying it to the fullest. I don't think Hyunjin heard me. But that's okay because I saw him. Yeah. And he's great and perfect.
Also, I had someone ask me recently during a TikTok live if I had a record in Stray Kids. I technically don't. I feel like all of them are just equally at the level. But if I have to pick someone, I'd probably choose Han or Lino.
That
I mean,
makes
they come
sense.
as a pair. They can both be my
That's
records.
true.
It's fine. It's a 2-for-1 deal. But yeah, I think it would be Han for me. So.
Yeah, I've actually given this a lot of thought, and I can't pick someone.
No, it's hard.
Sometimes it's Lino. I mean, I love Ian. He is such a cutie. Sungmin is always in the building for me.
Always.
Always.
That man never leaves the building, I swear.
Never leaves. He is so, not the biggest troublemaker, but like he is.
He stirs shit. He's a pot stirrer in the best way possible. He doesn't always do it, but you can always count on him when it works. I mean, obviously, Lara's not mentioning Hyunjin, but he's just always doing the absolute most and being perfect. So what are we gonna say? And
I still don't understand how someone can look that good like all the time.
Me neither.
And recently, Troye Sivan actually used him as a method to
marketing for his album.
Yeah, it was genius, honestly. Genius.
Yeah.
They sat down together at like the
Versace show. Yeah.
And so like people took a lot of pictures. They caught Troye Sivan looking at Hyunjin, like giving him looks, like obviously, duh. And so he kind of used that to market his new like album, and it was genius, truly.
Yeah. I know Changmin wasn't okay, but you know, it is what it is. We'll figure it out. I'll help him cope through this time. So I think that's BTS and Stray Kids done. Monsta X, nothing has changed. Undying love for IM and Kihyun. And I feel like also I'm just ragged by the entire group on a regular basis. I don't really have any moment of like solid ground of like, no, I'm firm in my stances and my bias. Like, no, I love all 6 of them unequivocally. I want them all.
Unless Shonu peels an avocado, then your love goes a little down.
If Shonu is peeling an avocado, I'm going to choose to look away. That's what I'm going to do for my mental sanity.
The only update I have is that he's back. There's a TikTok or like, I don't know, he did a live. I don't know what he did.
Yeah,
where people told him to go look at TikToks of himself. And the same sound was playing over and over and over. And it was that Daddy's Home voice or like a song.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. His face went from like, huh, to like, oh, okay, I see a pattern.
Yeah. His face was like, yeah, I have seen. I know. I'm aware of your bitch's delulus-ness. Yeah, he knows.
He's great.
After Monsta X, we go to Ateez. So with Ateez, I'm pretty sure at the time of this recording, this is a flip, guys. This is a pancake flip. This is a steak flip because I started my journey with Ateez. Obviously, San was our gateway drug into Ateez, but then immediately I went to Songhwa because when he said I'm the one in my zone with that like not widow's peak, but that bang cut that went straight down and with the silver hair and that like jaw that could cut me and I wanted to cut me, I was in. I was done. I could not look at anyone else. Songhwa was the one for me. And then Laura, somehow, some way, for once in her life, was not immediately gravitating towards Hongjung, which was really weird because she usually like loves leaders and Kim's. And I don't know what else I probably bully is the other thing that I was like, he's also this. Like, how are you not head over heels and adding him to your bias list immediately? And I went to sell Laura so fucking hard on Hongjung that I ended up falling myself. So Hongjung became my bias, and Songhwa went to like co-pilot, deputy, chief of staff, but like still first. But like you know what I'm saying? Like it's Hongjung. Like once I knew, but I didn't expect to flip because I was pretty convinced that I was a Songhwa girl through and through. But I don't know. Hongjung just came for my throat, and I'm very thankful that he did.
Personally, I think I noticed Kathy's flip before she did. She just didn't want to like admit it in her heart, in her head, which makes sense. You know, it's hard to do those types of things.
Yeah, I felt like a traitor. I still do, but I love Songhwa. Like I don't let him go. When people are like, "Oh, Songhwa, whatever," I'm like, "No, he's mine." Like you know, I don't let anyone go once they were mine. Even if I have like a little bit more attention that I pay to someone else, they're still mine. So I'm not toxic at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I'm still very much the same. Mingy's Mingy. And now he has had this like renaissance, so he's even more perfect. So it's kind of annoying because more people like him now, but you know, it's fine.
Yeah.
He's living his best, and I'm happy for him.
The girlies and the boilies and the dailies are screaming for him. But,
Mhm.
ma'am, I'm not gonna let you like finish this conversation without mentioning Mr. Yosang and his
Oh
wrecking of
yeah,
you.
I forgot about him. So I've never really, well, no, I've never. That's him. At the beginning, I really wasn't really drawn to Yosang at all. But recently, I don't know what it is that happened. But I remember what it is. It's that One Tease episode where they got checked out and then they
Oh yeah,
were sent
they
to
went to do
sleep.
endoscopies. Yes, yes.
So in that particular episode, Yosang is like drugged out of his mind, can barely keep his eyes open. He's slobbering everywhere. And like even within that slobber, he is the most nice, like
Polite.
good boy I've ever seen anybody be. And that was it. It was so cute. It was so cute
It's so
that I just
true.
couldn't. I
It's
couldn't.
so true. Yeah.
And he's giving baby girl in this last comeback. And I kind of like it.
Yes,
It's
he
like,
is.
it's nice. It's funny because it's a really weird contrast of his like face with
Yeah.
like his body, which I
Yeah.
always find really funny. Like idols either have really good skincare. Well, I guess Botox is part of skincare. They have like really beautiful skin, like barely any lines, and then like they show their hands and it's like a typical man hand with like veins and stuff. So
Yeah.
that contrast always I always find it so funny. And with
It's
Yosang
sense.
it's like from here to here one person, like from neck up one person and from neck down like another person. So I just think
Agreed.
that's so funny.
Yeah.
So
We noticed when Laura went this way, and also I think when he started showing his birthmark for that one comeback, I think that
mm,
was also like we both have been appreciating everything, like all his content and all the things that he does. And Laura had been dipping her toe in the water of Yosang, but then also she found this photo card where he had like a strawberry. And I think that was it. I think that's really the moment where you said, okay, this is happening.
I
I'm
bought it
committing.
obviously.
Yeah, exactly. So
uh,
that's what happened. With
he's great.
GOT7, I don't think there's any update other than obviously JB enlisted this year, but that doesn't mean anything because he enlisted into what? Disrespecting us? I don't know.
Literally.
Uh,
Literally.
his enlistment has been very puzzling because he has been one of the idols who have kept up communications with the fans the most, regardless of whether he's doing social work or others. Like, we know that there's plenty of other idols who are doing social work and they're just not as communicative with the fans as JB is being. So it feels weird, but we welcome it because it doesn't really feel like he's gone at all.
Mm,
And yeah, I think we both are just still very much on the JB love train and still not
yeah.
toxic, regardless of the fact that we
No.
both bias him. So
Yeah. And I think it's his enlistment has kind of, I guess, shown us or taught us a little bit more about how Korean enlistment works
yeah,
and what the difference is between being like an active duty member or an
yeah,
active duty soldier versus like a social worker.
yeah,
And it's a really big difference. We were talking
very
about this
big.
recently, and it seems, again, this is just from what we've seen. We haven't really like dug into this or researched into this, but
Right.
it just seems that like when you're a social worker, it's just kind of like a 9 to 5 job
Mm-hmm.
that you're like you have no choice but to do sort of thing. So whatever it is that it's given to you as a job, that's what you have to do.
Yeah,
But other than like the 9 to 5, you pretty much have free time, like a
yeah,
normal job. So it seems like it's like that because JB has been going places, like visiting his mom at their bakery. Like it's given a whole different perspective of what it is. So it
yeah.
just feels like other idols are like Kathy mentioned this when we were talking about it. She's just like they're probably just over being in the spotlight and they just want to like let go, not care about their looks. And that's probably really why they don't communicate as much, even though they could.
Yeah, it's a opportunity that they have to kind of take a break from having to do fan service and
Mm,
having to look a certain way and having to do things. They can really focus more on themselves and their families and significant others if they have ones on a DL. So I think most idols take advantage of that to the fullest, while JB has remained steadfast in his contact with us, which is so like heartwarming in a way. Because it's like, wow, he truly like could be doing whatever he wanted with his time, yet
yeah.
he's practically holding fan signs at his parents' bakery for free. And, you know, for no reason, he just like really enjoys being there for the fans and doing the fan service. And I think the fact that he's also not signed to any company and he's just signed to
Right.
himself
Yeah.
is another reason why he's so free with whatever he's
Right.
doing. He doesn't really have to answer to anyone but himself.
And he was
So
already free before he enlisted. Like he was already not having to be a perfect person. Like he already had publicly dated someone. He wasn't having to be extra careful. So I think that just kind of like naturally went with him when he enlisted. So
totally. I think a lot
yes.
of what comes in the future of idols being more normal should be attributed to JB because
Yeah.
of how he has handled himself after leaving JYP. So hopefully it does make a positive impact with the fandom culture as a whole. And then the last group that I think we have here, we mentioned in the last episode, SHINee. Same old, same old. Key is the love of my life in the most platonic, like bestie way of all time. I just stand him so hard. I want to be him. I want him to just dance in front of me all day, every day, to all the girl groups that he wants to dance to. And I just want to get drunk with him and play with his dogs. He's everything. He literally is everything I wish I could be in terms of like attitude and sass. All of that, he has it. It's crazy. I love it. I'm just obsessed.
Taemin is back. Finally. He is
Finally.
back. He is out. He looks like he's thriving. He has brought abs with him back from enlistment. I love him, but I love him like a little brother. Like, I know it's weird, Delulu, hey, but like it's that kind of vibe. So, I mean, maybe also because he's the maknae, like he just gives that vibe.
I agree. I see what you mean. I have little brothers and sons and daughters, so I understand. Our delusion knows no bounds
Nope,
at all.
it really doesn't. And we're proud.
Very much. My Delulu flag is always at full mast. Always. So proud. So proud. So, yeah, like Laura mentioned earlier, in a year and change, because it's been a little bit more than a year, a lot has changed, especially for me. You'll see in the upcoming updates. So, we just finished giving you guys the updates of all the people that we mentioned in our episodes. Or is it everyone? I think maybe we mentioned a few more, but these are the major headlines, I would say, of what we talked about in the last two-parter episode from February of 2022. But this year, for the July 2023 update, let me tell you, the most definitive fact that you will learn today is that I am not loyal at all. Don't know her. Don't know that word. Not in my dictionary. And unfortunately for me, up until like Laura was it 2021, I guess. Laura became a military lady very quickly into becoming a K-poppy because Shonu, Taemin, and Baekhyun all left around the same time. So it was really hard for her, and I don't know how she dealt, to be honest with you all. But then this year, once she got all of them back and, you know, Jin left, I was left by four almost at the same time. So, I mean, I thankfully didn't have to experience the military wife life so quickly into becoming a K-pop stan. But damn, just like it really hit me hard. And there's probably more to come this year because a few 93 liners and all of the 94 line are basically due. And my alt is included in that bunch. And so I don't think I'm going to be okay in the second half of the year. So pray for me, y'all. I'm going to need it.
It's hard,
Mm,
but you can do it.
nah.
I think I'm almost halfway through Jen's enlistment at this point. So yay!
Sure.
No, I'm not. That's bad. Bad
Like,
math.
I didn't
I'm
want to
sorry.
burst the bubble, but okay. Yeah. You are a third of the way, though. So
Mira,
that's
algo,
something. Yeah.
algo.
Yeah.
With that, in our last episode, we had mentioned 17 very briefly. At that particular moment, I had just like gone full into Carrotland because it was February of last year and I had fallen in love with Woozy in January 2023. Laura and Kathy there's like dipping your toe, going waist deep, dunking yourself. This is like cannonball with like a lead weight, like with like a lead weight. So we're in it to win.
Yeah.
I have woken up at 3 in the morning of a day of a wedding to watch Carrotland, like the fan meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a hotel. Ryan's friend was getting married. I knew it was going to be a long ass day. I knew it. but you found me at 3 in the morning with my phone and my AirPods trying to not wake up Ryan like this. It was worth it. It was a good Carolyn.
It was.
I'm still very much about Uzi. It is what it is. I do have now a bias line that includes 10 of the 13 members.
I don't think that's a bias line anymore, Laura. That's a country. I'm sorry.
It includes Woozi, Hoshi, D8, Jonghan, Mingyu, Dino, S-Coops, Wonu, DK, and Sangkwan. And that is not to say that I don't like Vernon, Joshua, and June. I just don't like, I'm not writing as hard for them. However, if someone were to say Vernon is overrated, no, he's not. He's perfect, and you can't say that. It's just, he's not like at a Woozi or Hoshi level, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I really like them. They're very much like BTS, where even if I'm not writing super hard, like the only person that can say anything is me and my Delulu mind. So
yeah, like Laura said, she went like balls deep since January of last year. Around the time that we filmed this episode and in February and stuff, I was nowhere near Carrotland. I was still passing like toll booths. Like, basically is the way that I can describe it. Somewhere in the middle of nowhere. I didn't know where I was going, but I found my way to Carrotland. So it's been just over a year and a few months. And now I'm a completely normal, settled carrot with half the group as my bias line. And what about it? What are you going to tell me? Nothing. You can't. And I like to, right now, just be open about my toxicity. No one look at DK. No one look at Sungkwang. I bought their earrings, and jewelry makes it official. So that's that on that. Okay? Cool. I'm glad we're on the same page.
wow.
And just, to share the rest of them, because I did say it was half of the group. So basically, S-Coops, of course. Hello. Like, I mean, totally. Come on. The 8, I don't have to say anything, but just like how has my heart. It is what it is. Like his sass and everything just sends me. And I really live for when he corrects the Korean members and they're Korean. Like that's so me. It like that part of him is so me with like the grammar and stuff. I fucking live. Hoshi, it took a while to like understand him and see him for who he is, but now that I do, fucking obsessed. And Wonu, last entry into my bias line, very quiet entry. Very, very happy with him as part of my lineage right now. And everyone else, equally amazing. Love them all. We'll probably do, if we do an update video next year, they'll all probably be in my bias line. And it'll be like a country situation like Laura. It'll be a hostile takeover. It'll be a dictatorship. And it'll have 13 presidents. And that's fine. So.
Well, 12 presidents and a vice president, pobre Dino.
I know, Dino, poor thing. I love him so much. I feel so bad for him, honestly.
I think he's the magne that has it the hardest. Like out of all the groups that we really look into,
yeah,
I don't see, like, obviously we know they're doing it like very lovingly or whatever.
Yeah,
but even when you do it lovingly, I mean, bullying is still bullying.
Let me tell you, if I were Dino, I wouldn't have been able to take it. I would have left. My sensitive ass is not built for that. They do too much. I feel so bad for him. My God.
It's true. He takes it like a champ though. Moving on. This next group, I think the biggest update is, I now say the name correctly.
So and we should toast to that. We should 100% toast to that.
Cheers. The thing is, guys, in one of the songs, they actually say EXO. And honestly, it just sounds cooler, in my personal opinion. But I have given in. Now I say EXO. It's fine. I get it. Whatever. So with EXO, I'm still very much into Baekhyun. He is also back, like Kathy mentioned earlier. I love him, period. I do have more love for the rest of the members, especially Suho and Chanyeol. I mean, Kai was already in it because I love Kai, so that's not really an update. And Schumann, I don't know why I like him. I just do. I can't answer. I've been trying to figure out why. Maybe because he looks like an underdog for me. I'm not quite sure. I like underdogs, but I like them.
Whatever it is, the heart wants what it wants. That's the answer all the time. Well, for me, I have gone on so many different like roller coaster rides with EXO. It's really Honestly, if we could find the footage of the first episode that we recorded on EXO, that's a change. That's a change because I was practically a Kai solo stan, and I can finally say that because it's no longer the case, and I will not have to get canceled by EXOs anymore because I love the whole group now. But I really went from like being a Kai solo stan and hating SM, and because I hated SM, I just like didn't want to support EXO because I was like, no, I don't want to like have anything to do with anything that SM touches. And then now I was like, okay, fine, fuck it. I will buy the fucking light stick and rep EXO very hard and like come at SM with everything that I have in me. And then the EXO anniversary was literally 2 months ago. And Laura made this template that we posted on Instagram for, other EXOs to partake about like how long have you been an EXO? Who's your bias? Who's your record? What's your favorite song? Like things like that. And I very proudly, just 2 months ago, was like, I don't have a record. I have only eyes for Kai. But then Mr. Suho showed up and said, may I offer my services? And I said, well, damn, I guess you can. So officially now I do have a record in EXO and it is Mr. Suho. So I love him. I don't know where that love came from. Like Laura was saying with Schumann, like they really come and they get you with their exoplanet powers, I guess. I don't know. But he fully came for me. So, okay. Hands up. You have me. I'm here. I'm giving in. Yes. Yes, daddy. So, yeah, that's my update with EXO. Very proud. Very proud.
And they're coming back soon. So it's
And they're
been
having
kind
their
of fun.
comeback soon. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I'm going to be bitter the entire time because Kai won't be here. And you will see me being unhinged on our stories and on Twitter, bitching about that every fucking day of their comeback and their promotions. So you've been warned.
As you should.
Mm.
As you should. It's
Military wife
right.
duties. I stand up for my mans when they're not here.
Especially the way he went. If you guys want to know a little bit more tea about that, listen to our SM episode. We talk a little bit about why we're bitter.
Yeah.
And why Kathy would throw a chancla if she could.
Virtual chancla heading on its way to Incheon right now. Hell yeah. Yeah, we'll drop the links on the description below so you guys can take a look at that episode. And the Kai drama starts around, the timestamp is 1 hour, 16 minutes and 1 second, I believe. I was doing a timestamp thing earlier, so that's why I remember when this thing starts. I left my blood, sweat, and tears on this episode, so please go watch it. And yeah, that's it for our EXO update, I believe. So next we go to Winner. Now, guys, I said earlier I wasn't loyal, and now you're gonna really know how far I can take my disloyalty. So I think it was very, very early in my K-poppy days. I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw this man and I sent it to Laura and I go, who is this? I need him immediately. And she goes, I'm pretty sure that's Mino. And I was like, okay, yes, hi Mino, nice to meet you. You are mine now. And Mino, mine now. Oh my God, he should use that for a song. Anyway, so immediately head over heels for this man just based on swag. Like, it just got to me. And when she was like, he's a rapper, I was like, of course he is. Duh. Like, makes all the sense. So immediately fell for him. That was that. I started consuming some YG content at some point after that. And I got to meet more of the members of Winner. So the first one that I really kind of said hi to right after was SHINee. This man and his sense of humor have me in a fucking chokehold. Laura at some point was like, weren't you all about Mino like 6 seconds ago? And I was like, and I still am, but I have enough room in my heart for more. So like, why are you coming for me? And I didn't send for you. So so SHINee got officially inducted into also my bias line because why the fuck not? And then I got to know Yoon. And oh my God, this man is everything that I love and more. He is like, has all the hardships that he went through in his life with like being bullied and his family situation and all those things. And then he is the most perfect, amazing singer to like win multiple shows and like win the Masked Singer like 75 times. And just, like his voice is truly out of this world. And then he also is like a fucking genius songwriter, like with those lyrics, like poet, like, oh my God. I mean, can you blame me? No, you can't.
That's literally everything you like.
Everything in one person. Like,
Wow.
so, and then the two of them are enlisted right now, Mino and Yoon. Like, when Yoon left, it blindsided me so badly because I got into winter kind of late. So I thought that most of them had served already. I didn't realize that they still had to. And I genuinely was so distraught the day that he left. Like, I was literally, I think, in the middle of a TikTok live when the news dropped that he was leaving. And I think I had to end the live because I wasn't okay after that. So I'm
Why?
just, whatever. He's gonna be okay. He's doing active service. It'll be done hopefully very quickly for him. He'll come back super healthy and happy and with all this inspiration and ideas, and we'll sing even more beautifully than before, and it'll all be fine. But anyway, that's all to say I am biased for 3 out of 4 winner members, shamelessly, proudly. And Gino, he can hold his liquor, and I really admire that. So he can also sit at the table. Like, I'm not gonna call him a bias because I just don't feel like that. But I still ride for him. That's that on
I
that.
get that.
Mm.
I get that. I personally don't have a bias in winner,
Yeah.
but Mino, I found out about him a long, long, long time ago. I don't remember
Oh.
how I found him. It was so long ago, I don't even remember. He did he did a song with Seago for Show Me the Money. And I really like that song. It has been in my Spotify playlist for years. It's the Okie dokie out is the truth. Yes. Not saying like that, like with actual, swag, which I don't have. So I found out about him a very long time ago through that. And it was a couple months ago that Spotify decided to play his music to me. And his music is literally everything I love. It is a party. It has fuckboy vibes. Like, it is literally everything I like in songs. So as soon as I found like a couple of his songs, I was like, I should check out more. So I did. Love them all. So I don't know if I would consider him a bias. His music is like fun.
Yeah.
Really fun to me. I think it was last year or a couple months ago, he did a video with his friend Hyuna from a group called Urban Sakapa. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. Where he spoke about how he felt in that particular like moment in time, and he described it by like drawing a picture of like a circle and then trying to fit into the circle this spiky like blobby figure. And it was pretty much just to say that like he doesn't feel like he fits in and that he still has like a lot of spiky attitudes or like spiky feelings. And the way that he described it was so beautiful and so sad. She started crying just seeing her friend be in that position. And it was like a really nice private moment that we were able to get like a little bit of a look at. So it was just, it was really nice.
He's
Also,
a really
painter.
great visual plastic artist. Like
Yes.
his work is very profound. And it's sometimes like kind of abstract, but kind of also like it's just like a mind fuck. He's extremely talented. Like that man is truly an artist in every sense of the way with what he does.
So not a bias, but I just really like his art.
Yeah. So I think if Laura messaged me one day and was like, I think Mino's my bias, I might block her and like the podcast might end. That's how toxic I am.
I
That
don't
might be
think I
why.
could, but
Yeah.
I just really like his music.
music,
It's really cool.
Makes sense.
It's a fun time. Moving on before I get canceled by my friend, by my chingu. NCT. When we spoke about NCT a little bit over a year ago, we were kind of like about it. Matter of fact, I have the script up from that episode, and in Kathy's notes it says NCT, can't say I have a bias. Guess what, bitches? Guess what? Kathy, how many biases do you have now?
I don't know. What's math? I can't count. Yeah, I told you guys, loyalty, I don't know her. What is that? Not in my dictionary, not for K-pop, not for literally any reason. Yeah, so what happened was at the time at the time of the recording of that episode, I was a young K-poppy. I didn't know what I was saying. I loved Mark because everybody loves Mark. If you don't love Mark, literally, I don't trust you. I don't want you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to know anything about you, right? So, but I didn't feel like I could say like, oh, Mark is my bias, because I wasn't like, drawn to collecting merch of his or something like that. Like I don't know what I thought at the time like the marker of a bias was, but anyway, so I was like, yeah, I like Mark a lot. Like he's in literally every group, so there's no way that I like won't see him. So, but yeah, but I didn't feel like I could call him a bias. And then Johnny walked in, and I was like, well, damn. Okay. Okay, Mr. Johnny from Chicago, I see you. And I really like him. His sense of humor, guys, is my brand. I love like my brand of like what I like to consume. I don't have that sense of humor that he has. But I really, really enjoy people who can do that level of deadpan delivery. And I laugh the same way that Mark does every time that Johnny is in his comedy bag. Like, came for me. And then I remember at some point somebody had mentioned something about Utah to me. And I was like, oh yeah, like sure. Like I saw him and I thought he looked like, he had Utah has this like chameleon thing where he looks very different in like all the eras of NCT. So I don't know what the first picture I saw of him was, but I was like, yeah, sure, like I see him, that's cool. But then I started seeing like content, like video content of him and his like lack of fucks given and his personality and just everything about him, his demeanor, his confidence. I really gravitate towards a confident person, man specifically. Like I really, really do like confident man. And Yuta is that and so much more. And he has the same birthday as I do. So because we're birthday twins, we're both Scorpios, the toxicity is magnetizing. So immediately it was like, okay, Utah it has to be added to the team. Like it has to do that. And then we knew NCT, we knew NCT 1 to 7, all the things, but like we hadn't really gone into Dream that much. Like I had heard a couple of songs and stuff, but I was like, they're children. I don't need to look in that direction. I'm fine. But then for some reason, because of fucking TikTok, I got a lot of hits on content in like my face. And I discovered recently, after adding Hechan onto my bias line, that I have an annoying line of like biases that I love and adore. Hechan might be, no, I don't think Hechan's president, but between Hechan, Changbin, and Bomgyu, who is not a bias, he's my son, I gave birth to him. It's a joke for legal purposes. I think my annoying line, like presence, is very felt and it's very obvious. So yeah, that's how I ended up with like a good amount of people on my bias line. And then I don't want to consider anyone else a bias because why would I need to? Like at that point, it's kind of bordering on unnecessary. But like Laura won't let me go a day without seeing Taeyong some way somehow on my face. So like I really appreciate him. I at first did not get Doyoung at all, and now I'm like, well, damn, like I can't stop looking at the man, and I can't stop listening to him talk. And there's just something about him that I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm looking at Yuta, and I'm looking at Hechan, I'm looking at Mark, and I'm looking at Johnny, but damn, I'm looking at Doyoung too. And yeah, I mean, am I gonna sit here and tell you that I don't look at Jaehyun? No, I can't say that with a straight face.
That'd be a lie.
That would be a bold face lie. So I won't do that. So yeah, I basically stand all of NCT right now. That's my conclusion. I know I named like 7 out of 20 guys. I know I'm not like naming everybody. I'm just saying like generally speaking. NCT has been quite a ride. So I pretend that I'm not such a hoe by saying that like Utah is my 127 bias and Hechan is my dream bias. And Mark is just my he's just everywhere all at once. And then Johnny is just like I can say like NCT broadly bias and I don't focus on anything specifically with him. So that's how I gaslight myself
The
into
mental
not feeling
gymnastics. Girl.
Gold medal.
Gold medal.
Gold medal. Start playing the national anthem, please. I will go to the podium right now. So yeah, that's
Like
how I went from Yep.
I'm sorry.
It me. So that's how I went from saying, I don't think I have a bias to literally a roster. I have a roster. I have an actual roster.
So funny. For me, Taeyong is still Taeyong. Like I love Taeyong. And he just recently dropped his first mini album, which has made me like love him even more. I am riding high on the Taeyong train. Like I don't want to get off. Ryan is with me. We were watching a video of him performing Virtual Insanity, and Ryan said, for those of you who don't know, Ryan's my husband. Ryan said, "Wow, his outfit is so cool." And I was like, "Oh my God, he has now become the coolest man in the history of men."
He got buy-in from the husband.
Right? And that
That's
was
it.
completely like, I didn't say anything. I was just watching the video. And then Ryan pops his head and he's like, "Oh, that's a cool outfit." And I'm like, "Hell fucking yeah, it is." So yeah, I also just watched a lot of his content yesterday. 4th of July, obviously, it makes sense, being patriotic. And he was so dedicated to this mini album. He was so involved with it that it is really adorable. Like, it's nice to see a K-pop idol being so into and so like giving into his like artistry. We don't usually see it, and sometimes when we do see it, it looks a little bit fabricated. But it was nice to see him in this particular sense because he really wanted to put the best product that he could, and he really did. It did show different sides of him, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a really good mini album. Like, it's really good.
Agreed.
If you haven't listened to it, please do. We actually recorded an episode where we talk about one particular song called
Yeah.
Ruby. So
Mhm.
if you want to hear our thoughts on that song, you should go listen to it. It's the pre-summer streaming party. It's a good song.
Mm.
I also discovered Doyoung, like Kathy mentioned. I don't know where. I think it was TikTok or Instagram. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the social media came for us, and
Yeah.
by us I mean you, and by you I
Yeah.
mean you came for me. So
I
it's a vicious cycle.
I'm not sure. That's a lie. I do know why I like him. His voice is gorgeous.
It is.
He has such a beautiful voice where it can be really strong but like really airy sometimes whenever he
Mm-hmm.
wants. He dropped an album with Jaehyung and Jonu as a subunit of
Mm-hmm.
NCT, and it was all like the music that I love. It was like a slow R&B, sort of like Boys to Men 90s type of like that kind of vibe, and their voices in that sound so good. One of the things that I love about NCT's music, even though sometimes it's a little bit crazy, especially for NCT 127, the way that they layer their voices, and there's so much layering everywhere. It just sounds so beautiful, especially where like you're in the car, you're listening to it with like headphones on. It just gives it like a whole other dimension, which
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's why they layer a dimension. But whatever. It's giving, and I am accepting. And also, actually, I wanted to mention this because I don't even think I've talked to it about with Kathy, and it's 10. I sort of love 10, like a lot.
We don't have to have a conversation explicitly about this because I know how much you love 10. I'm aware. I'm plenty aware.
He is everything that I love also. He gives me very much Taemin, Hyunjin, sort of like that vibe, and I like him. He also has a lot of sass, a lot of attitude. He's an amazing dancer. He came out with a song for his birthday around October of last year called Birthday. And
He dropped it on my birthday,
he
so
did.
mm,
And his choreography for that song is so beautiful. Like, it's so mesmerizing. There's
mm.
a part where he like goes from being like up in the air to like just stopping in the middle of the air basically. And it's like, my guy, how do you do that? With those like it's it's great. I've loved his recent, I think since 2021, all the solo music that he's put out,
Yeah.
or solo-ish, with him or like another member.
Mm.
So I really love him. Like, I think I'm gonna add him to my line because it's necessary. It is time.
Yeah,
Ryan
it
also
makes
likes his
sense.
song, so
It makes all the sense. I thought about adding him, like, because Wavy. Really, Lucas is my official bias, and I have this policy that, like, if you're my bias, even if you leave the group, you're still my bias in the group. Like, period, end of story. But it was like a competition, or like 10 could be the wrecker, and Lucas is the main bias from me and Wavy. So I love 10 as well.
And just one last thing about NCT. I am currently flirting with Jemin. He reminds me of Baekhyun, like his face a little bit. So he's very cute to me.
You're not flirting, mom. You're like in it. You're in it with
No, I still
Jimin.
feel like I need to like know a little bit more, before I truly like say, hey, You come join the club.
I think this is a moment of gaslighting and mental gymnastics as well, but sure, pop off,
Okay.
sis. Whatever
I can
helps you
do
sleep
that.
at night. It's fine. From NCT, we are doing a heavy 180 because we're going to talk about Twice right now. So we did an episode at the beginning of this season called the Year of the Girl Group, and we talked about how our love for girl groups has exponentially grown since we started. And by exponentially, we mean like at the beginning, we didn't pay attention to girl groups at all. We were fully invested in boy groups only, mostly because the music didn't really resonate with us as much. Like it was a lot of bubblegum pop that we kept like, getting shoved in our faces, and that's not really our vibe. And that's not all girl groups. This is a very short, summarized way of saying that originally we really didn't know girl groups well, and we explained more of that in the episode. But once we started giving girl groups a chance, it just started cascading and becoming more and more and more. And then Twice is was kind of late, to be honest. I think
Yeah.
Twice could have definitely been added earlier had we known more about them, because
Yeah.
I think we really like them and we like their music the most in terms of diversity and stuff. Like, well, it competes with Mamamoo was probably higher up,
Yeah, yeah, for
but
sure.
Twice, for having as much bubblegum pop as they do, they also have a lot of really like good, intricate, great music. So they could have been added sooner, but we just didn't know better. Now we do. And so I went to the Twice concert because I was able to escape a work event. No one please tell my boss. Thank you. And I went to the concert. I got there early to like try to buy the light stick because I knew they were gonna have it available. I was lucky enough to be able to buy it at the concert. I sat there. I bought the ticket the day of because I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to make it or not. Laura was asking me like the morning of, like, so did you get the ticket? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out if I can like escape or not. So anyway, bought the ticket, showed up, bought the light stick, sat in my chair. The concert started. Bitch, I cried the entire time. And like I can't go into like deep explanations of how much I'm not like that at concerts, but Laura has been with me at plenty of concerts. And usually, even when I say I'm gonna cry, I don't, because other parts of the moment just kind of like take over. But for some reason, those few notes of I can't stop me start, and the freaking knot in my throat is ridiculous. Like, I have never experienced this in my life as consistently as I did with Twice, because again, it was like the entire concert. So yeah, I don't know why it happened. My friend is trying to pressure me into going to therapy just so I can figure out why. But I need to buy photo cards, so that's not going to be allowing me to go to therapy. So we'll figure it out at some point, just not now. But yeah, just so you know, Jihyo, mother, of course, is my bias, and obsessed with her. Love the entire group. Momo, I dare not look at Momo because our friend Alex is deeply committed to her marriage to Momo. So I will not interfere. But if I were to have a record, it would be her. So yeah, Alex, please don't kill me. I have never admitted that to her in like on a chat because I don't want her to kill me. She knows where I live. So yeah, I do love Momo a lot, but my heart is completely full with Jihyo. I really don't need anyone else. She is everything. Truly love her to pieces. Love her, love her, love her. So that's Twice for me.
I'm currently still flirting with them. I don't really have a bias, but I am strongly flirting with Jonghyun. And Kathy says I love Dahyun, so I'll trust her on that. She looks adorable, and I love people that look adorable. Like, I can't help it. I want to
Yeah.
not like them sometimes because, like, whatever, but I just love people and things that are adorable. Like, it's in my blood. And she
Yeah.
looks adorable.
When I
So,
went to the concert, Dahyun, I really don't know a lot about the girls in terms of content and stuff. Like I haven't gone down the rabbit holes of consuming that. But when I saw Dahyun in action, I just knew that I this is the type of vibe that Laura likes. So I'm really looking forward to Laura getting into the content a little bit more so she can figure out if she likes her as a bias, because I think she will. I'm betting on that for
I
sure.
trust you. I
Mm.
definitely trust you.
So from Twice, we're going to Le Sserafim. I saw them from the moment they debuted. I love them. I love the concept. I love the music. I love that they weren't like, hey girl, girly. Like I really was happy that they were not giving that. And so from the moment that they debuted, I really like Yoonjun, but I was trying to like not love her like as a basic like, oh, I'm gonna go for the American girl, because I tend to do that again. Like I did it with Mark, I did it with Johnny. Like if I see a member that's like with when 17, when I started to get into them, I thought Vernon was gonna be the guy for me because you can automatically connect to someone that speaks English. Like that's just a fact.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's kind of where I tend to go. So I tried actively not to do the same with Yoonjin. And then like Cheon just came for me out of nowhere. And I was like, okay, I'm in. Sign me up. And then I don't know like how I didn't notice earlier, but I gave birth to Eunche, like my daughter. I love her. I freaking love her to pieces. So that's pretty much my bias line. 3 out of 5. That's where I'm at with Sserafim.
I think Yoonjae is the cutest thing in the history of, like, I don't think there's a cuter maknae, like girl maknae, out there.
No.
And she gives these vibes to me where she's like super cute, but also like not. And
Yeah.
I fucking love that.
She packs a punch.
She has like this like little bit of like a bully vibe that's like hidden between her beautiful, beautiful smile.
Yeah.
And I live for it.
Yeah.
She's been doing this YouTube program, I guess you could call it.
Yeah,
as part of her like MC duties, where she
Yeah.
goes around and like she does like a picnic.
Yeah.
Just sits on the
Eunche's
ground.
diary. Yeah, it's so cute. It's adorable.
And the way that she interacts with all of the groups and all of the people that she's interviewed gives me joy. She did one with the boys,
Yeah.
and it was like out of this world adorable.
That one was really good.
The energy between like just being awkward but also like flirting, but like being awkward and like thinking, wait, how old is she, to like, wait, no, what? It was everything to me. Everything.
Yeah.
Her
Yeah.
episode with Kai, when they realized their age difference, oh my god.
The tension was palpable. That was so awkward, but in like
It
the
was
best
so
way
cute.
possible. It was the most awkward thing I've ever seen on TV ever, but it was really cute too.
It was so cute.
Yeah.
So I like her just because she gives me that vibe.
Mm.
But my bias is Jennifer Yoonjin. Like, I try to not like the most popular member. Like, I really try. But I don't succeed all the time. Like, I like
No.
Hyunjin. Like, whatever. It is what it is. I like Baekhyun. Like, I get it. She is so talented. I don't even know how I learned that she was talented. Probably TikTok. I don't know. But something came for me, and it was her.
Mm.
She has such a beautiful voice. She's so sassy. I don't think I'll ever get a photo card because hers are very expensive, which I'm a little bit sad about.
Yeah.
But I am in it to win it. Like, I am ready to commit. She's great.
Yeah. Love her. So from La Sserafim, we can briefly talk about P1 Harmony. Kiho is still my little brother. I have always looked at him as a little brother in my delusion. I think it just makes sense. Intak has really grown on me over the past however long. I bought the P1 Harmony album at the concert, and I actually pulled his photo card. I was hoping for Kiho because, like, obviously, but I pulled Intak instead, and it was kind of like a sign from the universe, like, bitch, look at him. And I did. And I'm very happy to keep looking at him. And then Theo, this last comeback with the black hair, girl, came for me.
Totally
Absolutely came for him. Wow.
With me, it was, I don't know why I didn't realize this earlier, but I think I was driving to Kathy's house one day, and I live pretty far away from her. So like the drive was long, and there was a lot of music. And all of a sudden, a song like starts playing, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? Their voices were so beautiful that I was like, I don't know who this is. So I go to see who it is. P1 Harmony, Theo and Kiho's voice, like when they go
sound
together,
so similar. It's beautiful.
Yes,
beautiful.
yes,
Wild,
yes.
but beautiful.
Their voices are so gorgeous. Like, it bothers me that they don't do as much R&B, but they're perfect for it. They have this like delicious personality to their voices. It's very nice.
Agreed.
And I have a son in P1 Harmony. His name is Soul. He gets about 0.0001 of the parts in songs. But that's okay. It's fine. It's not fine. I'm very upset about it.
I've been trying to gaslight like both of us because you always have complained about it. And I'm like, well, maybe it's because he does so many like acrobatics and he's just focused on the physical part. But there's really no excuse for how many like little lines he gets. Like, it's not okay.
Like, I understood at the beginning he was trying to learn Korean. Like, I get it. It's hard. But that's not the case anymore. He is with these members probably at this point 24/7 because they're
Yeah.
still kind of newish.
Yeah.
He can speak Korean. Might not be amazing Korean, but hey, he could
Yeah.
get more lines. And I didn't know how much I liked him until I drove my ass an hour away from my apartment to get this cup sleeve. If you're
Yep.
watching, I am now showing a cup sleeve that they personally worked on when they were doing some promotions with Hello 82.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like little doodles that Seoul and Jeong did together because they kind of paired the members up. And I drove my ass an hour away just to pick up.
She did, and she's not a cup sleeve girly. But as soon as she knew this was happening and that he had designed it, she was like, "I'm there. I will be there." And she did. She showed up.
It's a freaking picture of it, but I don't care. Like, I needed it. I didn't know I needed it until I was there, an hour away from my apartment,
There we are.
getting boba so I could get a stupid cup sleeve.
Welcome to my world, girl. Welcome to my world, like Espa said. From P1 Harmony, we are going to talk very briefly about a few more groups. One that I wanted to mention is TNX, the new six. They debuted under Psy's company, P Nation, last year. And I was very like intrigued about the debut process because I haven't really been around for a lot of groups from pre-debut. So I really was like, let me pick this group. And then I decided that because they're so little, so young, they're all my children, all six of them. I gave birth to them at once. They're sextuplets. Like, it's fine. I'm okay. I made it through. But I really do have a soft spot for Junhyuk. From the very beginning, I would tell Laura, like, he's so talented. This is like magic what this kid like was born to be up on stage. Unfortunately, he seems to be dealing with some severe anxiety issues. And so he is right now on a second hiatus during promotion. So I'm very, very like brokenhearted over that situation. I'm praying and hoping that Psy and P Nation are providing him with the resources to navigate this. I know it's really tough. I myself have always suffered from anxiety and I've had really, really low points. So I can only imagine what it's like at that level with people having so many expectations and money on the table, so many people relying on the success of the group and you not wanting to let down your other 5 members. So I just really, really hope that he's getting the care and help that he needs. And we'll wait for him as long as we need to. But I really am very, very broken whenever I just don't see him in the promotions and the content because he really is so freaking talented. So I hope he gets better soon. I love you, Junior.
Oh, that's cute. They actually recently have been pushing the new six quite a lot. They first started with like TNX, but as of this last comeback, everywhere it's been the new six, and then in parentheses TNX. Not quite sure what that change is about, but it's a change.
Yeah.
So like Kathy has TNX. BOYNEXTDOOR is a group that just debuted like maybe a couple of months ago. They just recently debuted under
Cause Entertainment.
KOZ.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's Zico's company under Hype. And I listened to their first like mini album. It's not even a mini album. I think it's still called like a single album. It has three songs, I think. And I just really liked it. The songs are so fun. They have that Zico vibe, which I'm hoping they grow out and they have their own sound. But for like a debut, it was amazing. They're so cute. They're obviously all very young. They're so cute. And their voices are so good. I don't know if they can all rap, but some of them like have like rap saying in the songs. I still have freaking Serenade in my current no skips. Like I listen to it actively. There's this lyric at the very end of the song where it goes, I'll get along with your dad for you. And they end the song on that note. Genius. It is so cute. I can't. I'm telling you, I really love cute things. And so when they come out with this cute concept that fits them because they're not fucking 30, they're actually like young. So being cute fits them. Oh, so cute.
Facts.
I am very excited about what they're going to bring. And like I said, I'm hoping they can develop their own sound.
Yeah.
If Zico is a musician, so if he knows and if he recruited people that were very much like him, I have no doubt that they will.
With the support from Hive and the money from Hive.
Will grow into their own musical sound flavor.
Agreed.
So I'm excited. They're very cute.
For sure. And last but not least, we don't know a lot about this group. We are very much like just dipping our toes, but Enhypen has kind of been getting our attention lately, and we do have biases there, and Laura has another son there as well. So we were just briefly mentioning I'm a Sunghoon stan. The ice skating really got to me. I don't know, his face, his eyebrows really got to me. So I have already acquired photo cards and I am very actively working towards knowing more and justifying and understanding why my bias is my bias, because I a lot of times don't understand why, and then later I find a piece of information and I'm like, oh, there it is. So now I like know it just makes sense.
I really like Heesung in Enhypen. I'm not quite sure why. I just do. I think, yeah, I don't know, man. I think he's also really popular, and that kind of bothers me. But like, I like what I like. It is what it is. I'll deal with it later. And then my son Nikki, he's also Japanese, like Seoul. He is so cute.
Well, Nikki, this is a problem with him. He looks and he acts like fully like a 45-year-old heartthrob from Hollywood, and somehow he's like only 17. Like
He's
it
only
literally
17.
baffles me on
He
a
is.
daily basis.
I think he's a saggy too. He's so cute.
I don't know when his birthday
He's gonna
is.
grow up to be, I think, one of those dance killer, like that member in the group that gets invited to perform with like other
Yeah,
people
like the
from other groups.
solo dancer. Yeah, he's very much like Hyunjin in the way that he dances
Right.
and delivers and like that. He just also like his face. I really hope that he hasn't gone through some dark things in his life, because the energy that he serves is like he's seen some shit. It doesn't serve like
Yeah.
cute 17-year-old at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't
That's
serve
true.
Maknae at all. So yeah, I'm baffled and like mind blown by him, but like in awe of him, truly, because he just looks so mature and so lived already.
I think it's just his face.
Hopefully.
But I always do worry, like the Lulu ass worrying about people that I don't know. But I worry because he looks so old, like he looks older. Like I just wonder how that translates to people treating him on like the regular basis. It's like I have a niece who's very, very tall, very, very tall. And she doesn't look her age just because she's very tall. And I always worry that like people will treat her like she's older when she's really just 9, even though her height says she's like 13 or 14. So I just worry. And I guess this is just the last tidbit, just the last little thing before we finish this episode. We have a thing about picking biases that love each other. It is kind of weird, but also makes sense. Like
it's perfect.
We don't try, it just happens. Like even the ones that don't look in the surface like they're very close, or have like a special something, sometimes it's not that they're like super close or like besties, but they just have like a certain something, whether it's respect or like care or whatever. There's always something, even in like, for example, 17, where if you look at it superficially, DK and Woozy aren't always together.
Yeah.
There's something there. Always.
Yeah. Like in Carrot Land, when Woozy was crying, like DK was the one that would go to like comfort him, and like the one day that he didn't go, it was like a thing. So, and they're both in the vocal line and stuff like that. It when we both kind of like pick a bias, or like we start thinking that we have a bias, we probably get like content shoved in our faces of the two of them together, and it just kind of solidifies that they are the bias, like that we are talking about the correct bias.
Actually, we didn't mention this group, but for the boys, I have been recently getting into them. And for the boys, I've been shoving Sonu in Kathy's, like down Kathy's throat.
Like, I need any more fuckboys with big lips, girl.
He's very talented. He's great.
So talented.
But like if we had to pick like a bias, he'd be one of them. For me, he'd be the bias for Kathy. And
well, no, remember I started with Kevin. Again, I always go for the one that speaks English. So like from the beginning, when I saw Kevin content on TikTok, I was like, done. This is it. So I've always been a Kevin stan, really. Like, I don't know a lot about the boys, but I just really like him. Obviously, I like Jacob. Eric is so fucking fine. So like I know those three because again they speak English, so it's just easier to like already kind of pinpoint them and pick them out of a lineup. And the rest of the members I haven't known well, but like we end up always at cup sleeves or winning albums or doing stuff for the boys. So I'm like, fucking, I have to like get to know them. And then Laura sends me Sonu content weekly, daily, and now I'm sending it to her because like it's inevitable. So I told her, I'm like, are you okay with us sharing another bias? And she's like, if it's what it takes for you to get into this, then yes, it's fine. So I guess Sonu, and Kevin are both like shaking hands being my biases there.
But even then, like I can't pronounce his name, Junghoon, I really like him. And him and Sonu are together all the time.
All the time.
Like even though she started with Kevin, she switched over, or she added Sonu, and then it just so happened that the one who I thought was my original bias, and he's still part of the bias line, they're like besties.
Yeah,
they share
it just makes sense. It just
even like that random. Maybe we are reaching a little bit, but it doesn't matter.
No, it's just we always find content, and like I told Laura one time she didn't send me something that like our biases were together, and I was like, you know, it's the law that we have to send it to each other, and we have to add it's always us. Like we always send it to each other, and we always say it's always us. So yeah, like the other day I saw like Kwasa and Solar from Mamamoo. We always see it. It always materializes some way somehow, and like Laura said, it might not be that they're really like the closest at all times, but they have something special and they post together and it just makes sense.
It's true.
It's perfect.
Thank you so much. That is it for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed this, I guess, silly compared to last week's theme, last week's topic. So we hope you enjoyed it. It was fun for us. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the MIA2K podcast. We have lots of great content coming up ahead, so please don't forget to follow and subscribe to our show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you enjoyed our episodes, please rate us 5 stars.
And for the real-time tea, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook by searching for @MIA2K Podcast. Dale, bye!